Hola y bienvenidos amigos. Hello and welcome friends. Steve here, Street Smart Travel, coming at you from Cañar, just outside Cañar, actually the town of Cañar in the canton or province of the same name. So I'm on a ceremonial slash cultural center site, I guess something like that. It's not a farm this time. And today's story is about an animal rescue that my host and I played a role in about a week ago when I first got here. So today, I guess, is the 17th. Happy St. Patty's Day. And this will probably be posted around the 18th or 19th. Internet access up here is sketchy at best, so I may have to actually head to town to be able to edit and post this. We'll see. I'll figure it out. So about, what was it, last Tuesday, we're driving around town to get permissions and paperwork and all kinds of things for this ceremony that was held a couple nights ago here on the property. And in the process of doing that, we stopped at a medical center. My host had an appointment, and as we pulled over to park on the side of the road, we saw the dog in the thumbnail was there on the side of the road, really dirty, obviously hungry, thirsty, in rough shape. It didn't move when we got there. There was no reaction, didn't bark, nothing. So I thought, okay, this isn't good. This dog needs some help. What can we do? And my host took a look at it and I go, okay, it doesn't look like it's been poisoned. So I think, and sadly that is something that happens here. So, okay, when we come out, when I'm done my appointment, we'll come out and see what we can do to help this dog. And true to his word, as soon as he was finished with his appointment, we went back out and the dog was maybe 20 feet from where it was before. So I don't know if it moved or somebody moved it, but it was still there and it was still in rough shape. So we figured, okay, let's see what we can do. We don't have any food to give it. We don't have any water. We don't have any containers to put the food, or we had water, but there's no container to give to the dog. So we thought, okay, I asked him, I go, look, we just passed a rescue center, animal rescue center, about 3 blocks away from where we are right now. Can't we just reach out to them with a picture and the address and say, look, we're up here and here's this dog and can you come and help it? And he said, well, they basically take animals in. If you drop off an animal, they'll help it, but they don't come out and pick them up. I thought, okay, well, so there's another option. Like, we're running out of options here. We want to help this dog. So the next thought was, why don't we put it in the car and drive it down there and drop it off and explain the situation and see what can be done. And my host had a cloth bag, so wrapped it around the dog. It was a really small dog. And he went to pick it up, and it immediately yelped. Like, okay, so can't do that either without causing it more pain, which we definitely don't want to do. So, like, what's the option? And we sat there and thought, and in that situation, like, what are your options, right? What are you going to do? We're not trained veterinarians. Like I said, we don't have anything to give it to help it, and we can't move it and take it to a place that could help it. We're racking our brains, what do we do? Like, so reluctantly, we left and carried on and thought maybe we can buy some food and water and whatever while we're running these errands and come back and help the dog. And at that point, I hadn't realized it, but my host had reached out. He took my advice and reached out to that rescue center. And I think they have like a WhatsApp feed that's public or something. He sent a picture of the dog. This is where it is on the side of the road right by this medical center, at this intersection. Okay. And we carried on our way. And we're out front of another office further in town. Cañar's a town of maybe 10,000 people, right? So it's not a big, bustling metropolis. And by the way, I haven't seen any gringos in the week that I've been here. So I'm not the only up here, which is kind of nice. So we're outside this office, and before he goes in, he looks at me and he says, he expresses sentiments that would be expressed by any animal lover, dog lover, but in a very poetic way. Like, I've never heard anybody say this, and I don't know people that talk like this. Maybe it's more common down here, but the translation of what he said was, I have a pain in my soul knowing that dog is suffering, right? And that we can't help it, or we weren't able to help it. I thought, wow, like a pain in my soul. That's very poetic, right? And obviously he was very upset and kind of probably disappointed that we hadn't been able to do anything, which wasn't entirely true because, like I said, he contacted that center. So he went in to this office, got whatever he needed, came back out, and then he showed me his phone. And it had the WhatsApp feed from this rescue center. And he showed me the picture of somebody from the center, like a professional, who had come out, in the full hazmat gear and the mask, and they had the dog in the background, a picture of them, all dolled up in their medical gear with 3 syringes that they were about to use to minister unto the dog to help it, and I guess take it back to the center and do whatever they could for it. So that was a huge relief for both of us, right? Because it's just something that's weighing on your mind the whole time. Like, yeah, we have these errands and there's things we have to do to get the permissions and make sure that everything's ready to go for this ceremony on the weekend. Was that Saturday? So 2 days ago. And the whole time we're like, what are we going to do to help this dog, right? And we don't know how badly it's hurt and whatever. So when we saw that, finally the weight was lifted and like, okay, this animal got the help that it needed. I don't know the rest of the story after that, but that was kind of where we left it. So I guess we get an assist in helping this dog. And it felt good, right? It was good to see that side of my host. I just met him the day before, and here he is. Like, pretty much everybody I know would have passed the dog and said, wow, we should be able to help it, and like, oh, what are we going to do? And then, gone on about their day. Not everybody, right? But a lot of people would have had the intention that they wanted to help the dog and gone through all the motions that we went through, and like, oh, like, what else can we do? Like, what is there left to do to help this animal? Because clearly it needs some help, and nobody else has helped it. And does it belong to somebody? Is it someone's pet? There's a lot of feral dogs, I guess. Like, dogs just wander around all over the country, everywhere I've been. The homelessness problem we have in Toronto, Canada, is like the dog homelessness thing down here. It's amazing. And I don't know that all these dogs are homeless, but they're generally, how do I say, in the West, if you own a dog, you're fully responsible for it, and if it bites someone or does something, like, you're on the hook. Here, if you have a dog, generally it has the free roam. It comes and goes when it wants. Not in the cities, obviously, it's a little different, but in the countryside, out here at night, there'll be like 8, 10, or 12 dogs on the property. There's nothing for them to do here, but I guess this is their gathering place because, like, people don't bother them. So we didn't know, does this dog have an owner? Is it a street dog? Like, who knows, right? So we left that situation knowing that we did everything we could, and fortunately somebody was able to pick up the ball and run with it and take care of the animal. And hopefully if it does have an owner, it gets reunited with them, and hopefully they take better care and don't let their dog roam around and get hit by a car. So with that, that's one for you animal lovers, and especially you dog lovers. I get requests about pictures and videos and things with animals. Obviously I'm not looking to find animals in distress so I can post videos. This one just happened to be fortuitous. I do have some other pictures. I went to visit some ruins just a few days ago, and there were alpacas there, llamas, things like that, more exotic kinds of animals. So I'll do what I can to come up with maybe a collage, a short with pictures of various animals that I've encountered down here in South America. So there's your feel-good story for the week. It's March 17th today. I'll probably post this in a day or two. The internet connection up here is spotty at best, so I'll probably have to head into town to be able to post this online. But I did want to put something out there for the animal lovers, and if I can find more content, I'll post more things like that, and hopefully feel-good stories like this one. Thanks for stopping by. Drop a like, a comment. Please pass this along to anybody that you think might find it interesting, entertaining, or could use a feel-good story to maybe cheer them up a little bit. With that, I will say happy trails. See you out on the road.